Hey, what is up you guys? Ty here again for another quick video tutorial, and this time I'm actually trying to work on with a logo that you are going to prep for an animation as well to be used for Adobe Premiere Pro. So remember, this logo, it's not just a specific logo for kind of like print, but also this logo is intended to be animated for Adobe Premiere Pro as intros and overlays. First up, bring up your Photoshop, Control N on your keyboard to create a new document. It's 1920 by 1080. What you would want to do with that is just place on the name, is say Road Rebel Motorcycles, something like that. Sorry, did I spell it right? And 1920 by 1080, that's fine. And landscape for the orientation resolution, I'm going to make it around 300 because again I'm trying to prep it for both for Premiere, but also I'd want it to be adaptable for prints. So I'd want to do 8-bit. That's gonna be fine for me. Just click on create, and I'm gonna go F on my keyboard for full screen, H so that I could move with a hand tool right here. Notice that my background is my foreground color is white and then my background color is black. So what I do, I press Control backspace on my keyboard. Gives me this black background. Remember, we set that to 1920 by 1080, so I would want to up that into a double scale so that I could somehow just resize that in Premiere. So what I do, I go Control Alt I on my keyboard. Again, Control plus Alt plus I together. I'm gonna make this about maybe 2,500 or maybe 3,000. That'll be all right. And click on OK. And I'm gonna press Z on my keyboard, and I hold that, and I just drag in while I'm holding the mouse button. And I'm gonna go text right here. Go horizontal text tool. Just press that in there, and then type in road. Then Rebel or whatever logo you're trying to make. So I have a font for this which I downloaded. It says Bleeding Cowboys Regular. That's gonna be a really nice font for the logo itself. So right here would be the distance in between the letters. Just gonna drag it out, and for the kerning I'm just gonna move it a little bit so I could see the curves right here, and I'm gonna make it bigger, scale up. Now while you're scaling up, you would have to do the kerning again like that. Alright, it's pretty readable right now. So again, let me just make it a little bit smaller because I forgot that I'm going to add something. So what I do, I move it right at the center, but there are two sort of like, curves or two things extending out, which is not looking nice. So what I do, when I go to road right here, duplicate that, Control J, uncheck this so that you could hide that, and press E on your keyboard for eraser right here. Just eraser tool, and click on that. It's going to ask you to rasterize the layer. I'm going to click on OK so that I could erase that. Just going to erase it like this, and I'm gonna zoom in, Z on my keyboard, so that I could shape up the letter R, E again, and there you go. If you want to be precise on this, you go P on your keyboard for the pen tool, and right click over and go to make selection, click on OK, then press delete, Control D so it would go away, Z again to Z out or zoom out, H on your keyboard to make movements, and press V or move tool so you can have it centered. So what I do, I'm gonna go click on the shape tool and find ellipse right here and find my center. I press shift, hold, and just drag to create a circle. It's all dependent on you as to whatever size you want. V on my keyboard so I could move it. And once you see all these lines like that, that means you're at the center. So what I do, I'm just going to change the color for this so that I could see it. It's not kind of blending with the font behind it. Alright, so I'd go for the text tool again, and I'm going to connect it just right beside that. See how the cursor changes into something else? That's the time that you could type in, just press on that and just type in motorcycles, and it's going to curve the text. Go to character right here again, and then make it smaller, and for the distance in between, about that, maybe I'd go 100, not too much, 180. Yep, 180 would be okay. So, oh sorry, I press again, and I'm going to do spaces on this so it moves way at the center. Sorry, did I place? Sorry, let me move that, space it, because these motorcycles would be underneath. What's on top would be custom. Yeah, making it small, just, you know, matches that up pretty nice like that. And I'm going to add another text. Press on the text tool again, and then just type in custom. So gonna move the distance like that, because I can't scale up because it's going to be looking odd, and that's fine. I'm going to uncheck or hide the ellipse tool that I just created, and there you go, it says like that. So what I do, I'm just gonna click on custom, and then click on, what's the other one here, and I'm just gonna move it down a little bit. Alright, so this is going to be enough for me. Again, this is not just a specific logo for maybe a t-shirt or whatever. If you'd want a tutorial for that, we have a separate tutorial for that. This is again a logo that we're going to use for an animation or a title animation that we're going to export on to Adobe Premiere. So I'm done with this. What I do, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to export one by one. So this Road Rebel right in here, we just created that in a singular form. So what I do, I'm gonna press Alt on my keyboard so that I could just have that. Control Alt Shift and S. Save it. Say Road Rebel Motorcycles PNG. Say 1 and save it. And next up, you go to the second layer right here, which was the motorcycles. Control Alt Shift S again on your keyboard. Press save. Let's say motorcycles. Then the other one, say custom, like that. Save, and then say custom. All of those are saved already in sort of like a double scaled format. The reason why I did that, a double scaling, because in case you're trying to zoom it out in Adobe Premiere, then you won't lose details. So I'm just gonna open Premiere right here. I'm gonna create new project. I'm gonna say Road Rebel. I'm gonna do 24 frames per second. I'm gonna do 1080. So again, it's 1920 by 1080. So what I do, I press on this, I go custom, I say DSLR 1080p 24 FPS because that's my default. So I'm gonna go say Road Rebel for my sequence name, and I go to settings, and I set that frame size 1920, horizontal 1000, but I go 1080 on that because that's my default. So I'm just gonna change that to 1080, and I click on OK. It's gonna bring up a timeline. I'm just gonna drag all these three on separate layers. So what I do, place here, Road Rebel, click hold drag for the motorcycles, click hold drag for custom, and there you go. Now you first have to select the Road Rebel part, sorry, this one right here underneath. So what I do, I double click on that in case I wanted to be scaled up on this size. Just gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this. Sorry, I'm gonna right click over, I'm gonna say copy, and then press on this, highlight that, right click over, and then paste, and go motion, check on that, click on OK. It's gonna set that on the very same scaling. Next, for the other one, right click over and paste the same settings, check on motion, click on OK, There you go. So play it, set your playhead. It's gonna come one by one. In case you'd want to add effects, go ahead to Window, down to Effect Controls right here. Then go up to Window again, then look up for Effects. And it's gonna give you your effects right in there. Now what we want to do, just say wipe, W-I-P-E. Maybe wipe is fine for me, like that. It's gonna wipe like so. Then click, hold, drag over, by the way. Then zoom it in, just click on that, or you could do plus and minus on your keyboard. Then click on this effect that says wipe and go up to Effect Controls, and then here you have your directions. Check out, if you play it, yeah, it's just wiping horizontally. If you wipe it going down like this, sorry, going up, it's gonna wipe like that, or maybe going down, or click on this if you want it wiping from left to right. So maybe I'm gonna choose this. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna go for the other one, just like that. It says Road Rebel. Then I'm going to extend, make it go slower. Click, hold, drag onto the right side. Then say Road Rebel. Road Rebel. Then now while it's doing that, I want it to be somehow fading in. So what I do, click on this. I'm gonna set a keyframe. Go ahead to Effects right on top. Go ahead to Opacity right here. Now you see this toggle animation, like stopwatch icon. Click on that, and it's gonna give you this keyframe. Click, hold, drag to the left side. Oh, sorry, I forgot. You have to set first your opacity. What you would want to do, click on that, by the way, on something where you can actually see it still. You go to opacity right here. Click on that, and I'm gonna say change the value to maybe about 20, like that. Then click on the watch icon, then move it to the left side so it would actually start from this part, like that. So from there, everything is just, you know, kind of blurry. Now what you want to do, move your playhead right on this part and go up again to opacity, set a keyframe, and change the value to maybe around 85, like that. And then just drag. The reason why you're trying to pull it onto the right side, because you want it, you want the effect to be up until the end of this clip. So press it, and it's gonna go kind of like from a faded look to a more solid look. The reason why you can't see it, because we do not have a background. Maybe you would want to add a background later, that's fine. But for now, I want to go Window and Project. Just gonna go add a solid, go here on New Item. Just gonna go say Color Matte. I'm gonna go click OK. Those values would be fine with me. Just gonna go red, I guess, yeah, and click on OK. Just gonna drag it over, but this time we don't really need it. All right, we just want that to be our temporary background. Place it over so we could see the change on what we're doing. Yeah, you could just scrub it over, click, hold, drag, and then scrub going up. Now you see that it's actually faded, then going up with a solid color. Now I would want to move it. Sorry, let me just go back and then show this to you. If you move this too short, then you would lose your keyframe right here. If you would move it to the right, then you add spaces for the keyframe. In case you'd want it to be as short as this, you maybe want to move your keyframe first before you make it really short. So what I would want to do is just drag it to the right and then just place it there. And maybe I'd want it fading out, so what I do, I'm just gonna set again to 0, like that, and just drag it over. So next up, you just scrub it up, and there you go. It's gonna die down again. Now, in case you'd want this part the solid part to stay for kind of a while in there, just drag a little bit right here, then just go for 100 again. So you have 100 right here and 100 right here. What happens is that when you drag it over, it stays to 100, stays to 100, and goes down. So it's all dependent on you. And also, if I play it, it's really, really slow for an intro. Now, the reason why you're trying to do that, because you don't want it very, very fast, because you're trying to export this as a transparent video as a default, which could match either a fast clip or a slow clip. In case you want it faster, you can just speed it up in your future edits. So, but if you make it really fast right now, in case you'd want it slow, it's going to lag up. So that's going to be the reason behind that. Now next up, we're going to pull these two right here. It's going to go Road Rebel Custom Motorcycles. So what I want to do with custom, I want it maybe zooming in from the left side. Say zoom, cross, zoom. Just click, hold, drag over. Sorry, I just click on effect. Right? Sorry, let me go back. You go to effects and then type in zoom, and then just click, hold, drag over for the cross zoom effect, and just play it. There you go. And I would want to do the same thing with the other one. Click, hold, drag over, and then zoom. Play it again. Yeah, so want it that way. So we'd want to do sorry, let me just make adjustments. Right, so I want it ending while it's wiping. I wanted this would also come in all together, so it would actually be dynamic. Alright, so I guess that's a little bit better, and I'm cool with that. And I want it to somehow fade out, so I'd want to go it zooming out the same way. So I'd want to go effects and zoom out again, or sorry, cross zoom. I'm gonna type in cross zoom. It's gonna pull up just like that, very, very same. So I'm gonna cut this from here. What I do with this, I'm gonna go for something that says wipe. Say that same wipe effect right here. Click, hold, drag over. Alright, so let me move it. Click on the wipe effect, go to effects, controls. I'm gonna wipe it away like that. Alright, 1 second. Alright, so I'm cool. So that would somehow be our logo. Alright, so Control A on that. Let's drag it way on to the very start of the timeline. And this time we're going to export that. Again, we want this video to be transparent, so we could just overlay that to any other videos that we actually need. Since we are working with a solid color right here, like a black color, there are two ways to make the video transparent. First is to export that with a transparent layer. Second is to export that with a black layer, so that you could just remove that when you're going to overlay that with something else on your future videos. So this is how you do it. Step 1. By the way, I'm just going to save it first. So what I do, I'm going to Control M on my keyboard. So I go File and Export, then Media. It says Control plus M. So I'm going to do that. It doesn't want to do it. Why so? It's not working. Control M again. Hey, Control M. You want to go Control M? Control M. It doesn't want to do it. So I'm going to go File, Export, Media. Alright, it doesn't want to do shortcuts. Why is that so? Right, so I'm gonna go Road Rebel. I'm gonna say title animation 1, or say transparent. Oh, sorry, let me just go say black. BG. Click on save. And we're gonna go check on export video, but no audio. So I'm just gonna uncheck. I'm gonna go straight down. So by the way, all these settings are, preset already because I'm matching the source. So just drag down, check for the bitrate, everything's fine. Just click on export. Then it's going to export that with a black video as an overlay. As the background. So let's just wait up a little bit. Alright, let's check that right here. Let me double click on that. And it says Road Rebel custom animation, but your background is still black. Now let me just export that with a transparent background. Control M on your keyboard, which doesn't work again. Go file, export and media. I have a problem with my keyboard, I guess. So what you do, you go change to QuickTime from format right on top. Find something that says QuickTime, then go down to video codec animation. Sorry, like there, animation. Click, hold, drag down. Sorry, we forgot. Uncheck the audio in case you don't need it. Quality, no width, height. You're going to set this to 1920 by 1080. Why is that so saying 1280? No, you just uncheck the proportions. Just say 1080. 1920 by 1080. And for the frame rate, 23 frames. That's gonna be fine. And here you find something that says depth, 8-bit and 8-bit alpha. So what you want to have is the one which says alpha. Check on that and bring it back down. Look up for something else you want to check, and you go say use maximum render quality. It's all up to you. If you want it on a maximum rate, that's fine. Click on that, press export. We're gonna wait for a little bit. Alright, so here's a video clip that I actually have as my, maybe you have seen this clip from my previous tutorials. I'm just gonna unlink so because I really don't need the audio for that. Alright, so I'm just gonna drag that on this very same timeline where we have the project earlier. But we go back and then just click, hold, drag the first one with the black background. So if you like click on this and then play it, it's just gonna cover that with that black background. Now this is what I'm trying to tell you earlier. In case you just would want to speed up the clip, right click over, go to speed duration, then go like maybe 200, press that, enter, and there you go. It's kind of faster that way. It's gonna pull up like that. Now next up, you would want to get rid of the black background. What you want to do with that, click on the clip, go to effects, go to effect controls, and look up for something that says opacity. Now on blend mode, what you would want to do is look up for something that says screen, and there you go. You just instantly lose that black background. Play that and it works just like that. Now this would only work with solid backgrounds. If you do not have solid backgrounds like that, maybe your background is kind of like, multicolored, then it's really not going to work. Now we're going to try the video with a transparent background. Click, hold, drag over, and like that. Just move this away. Now this is the one with the black background, and this is the one without. So just play it, and there you go. It's just pretty much the same. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger, like that, and there you have it. So that I do, I'm just gonna speed it up, maybe around 220. Alright, so there you have this one quick way on how you could actually animate your title create a title from Photoshop and then make an animation so that you could like, actually make it like an overlay for future videos that you might be needing that on. For other video tutorials, you could check out our channel. Just check that out. We have Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects. I even have my vlogs in there all together. Please do subscribe, share this video, thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, just comment down below as to however we could help you out with your future concerns with Adobe Premiere. Again, my name is Ty. I'm gonna see you back. Thanks much for watching.